Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation. Yesterday we discussed infinity, the intuition that discrete objects have edges or have boundaries, and then how do you have, conceptually, is there an edge of the universe? A question that comes up often. But the reality is when you have something like that where it seems intuitively or intuitively well established, but there's no clear answer, it means your conceptualization, your intuition is not in the right place. And so I forget what the actual resolution is. There's tremendous value in showing a complete proof the first time I've done this, but it's just some intuitive step that we're just trying to find, again, put our conceptualizations in the right way to ask the right question. Because the universe isn't complicated, right? That rock over there is not trying to confuse you. The quasar up in the sky is not trying to confuse you. It's just understanding the world around you and then speaking in the correct ontology. And so just move along with our derivation. If these things come back up, we'll continue to discuss them. But remember, we're at the end of sensorality. And so we have this iteration limit of 7. Literally, linguistically, the number 8 is infinity, rotated 90 degrees. And then our boundary, again, there are no closed systems. All boundaries are permeable, right? I am mostly not solid material, but all of the molecules are bonded. And so the permeability, the ability to pass through. And so when we're sitting here trying to have the conceptualization of an edge of the universe, and it doesn't really make any sense, we're just not conceptualizing the problem, because there are no problems, right? I got 99 problems and none of them are theoretical. And so on a personal level, like I said, I've already done this complete derivation. On the species level, there's tremendous value to establishing a complete mathematical proof, but to having to re-derive the axiomatization of physics is like, it's like I said, it's profound abuse, but it's totally performative. It's a performance. It's like, we know Beethoven's Fifth Symphony exists, and then you have to try to play it perfectly. It's like you already kind of established what you're trying to do with physics. And so regardless, that's not to like gloss over it. It's just some bit of conceptualization that I can very literally look up in my email, but there's no point to do it when I'm developing intellectual property. But like I said previously, if you have any sort of computer tool to aid you in your proofing, absolutely do it. There's no point to try to, again, have a perfect performance, so to speak. Continuing on, sensorality is infinality, right? Infinite, take off the E, add the ality. Sensorality with a C is finality. And so intuitively and conceptually, again, there are no closed systems, so now we're back to that difference between sensorality, filtration from sentient beings, and then filtration from objects. And so, right, there are no closed systems. Life in general is going to extend way past me personally, way past whoever's watching this personally, and they're going to need new words, so these definitions are open. So again, remember, I'm still thinking we're solving sensorality with a C, because it has to have some aspect of language that is definitive, that is finite, that is set, that will not change. And so we're trying to show that linguistic iteration. Definition, or sensorality with a C, is finality. Definition is final. The future is not definite. So again, if we're saying the boundary of the universe, right, you're thinking spatially. Right? So that's probably like the big thing, because again, space isn't well defined. Matter is. Absence is space. And so you're probably the same, just like me right now. You're thinking the edge of the universe. It's like, and then like the little guy with the wand, I forget who used that conceptualization, but you can't like put the wand somewhere else. So it's just like, but space isn't well defined. So when you're thinking the edge of a universe, you're thinking like there's no more space to go into. But again, you don't travel through space. The absence of matter is what is recognized as space intuitively. Just again, moving on with our conceptualization. But the future is not definite, the past is set, and that stark difference has to be reflected in our language. Definite is certain, right? And then certain, again, that E to the A to the E, and then we have the letter I in there as well. Uncertainty produces indecision. Sensorality with a C is decisive, or decisive. Why would I put a C there? because decision doesn't really make sense to sensorality with the C. But it doesn't really matter. Like I said, at this point, all I'm doing is just trying to find this unique syllability, as we did with speciality. Sensorality with an S is decisivality. So I just don't know why I had a C in there. A decision is a choice. Sensorality chooses. A chore is a burden. A burden is a hassle. Sensorality is sorderality. Right, that's off of disorder, and we just take the sorter, then put an ality at the end. Differentiation is finite. Division is limited. Right, you can't lose more than 100% of anything. You can buy a stock, you can go up 10 times and you've made 1,000%, but you can't lose more than the base. Resolution is definite. Foundation is fundamental. Sensorality is conciliatory. Right? How do you reconcile? Reconcile. Sensorality is reconciliatoricality. Just expanding out these word forms with a clear base, trying to find the unique syllability. Explanation reconciles. Concise, reconcile. Reduction is concision. Concise, concision. Conceding gives up. Quitting gives up. Finality quits. It quit. Quit it. Proof, roof. A roof is an upper limit. A roof is a ceiling. And you're kind of thinking like, wait, is a roof, like what's the difference between a roof and a ceiling? Right? Inside of a system, outside of a system. The edge of the universe, not the edge of the universe. What kind of question? We just have to ask the right question. Because it's very clear, right? There's going to be things in the future. You're going to need new words. So we just need this not changing aspect of language to present itself. A roof is a ceiling. Sensorality seals a ceiling. Again, differentiating one sound, two clearly different logical meanings. A ceiling versus a sealant, like to close something, to seal, or a roof, a ceiling. Sourcening is censorship. Censoring filters. To filter is to prefer. So now we've made a big that was my big step for me today on a personal level. And a lot of times it happens pretty much right when I wake up. I sleep like shit pretty much all the time. But right, if you have a preference, that's a filtration from a sentient person. So to filter is to prefer. And so now again, I can't say much about it, but now we just have the letter E. Like there's no, again, the E and the A there's clear difference for me than the I and the U and the O. Again, I don't know really what to say, but again, with this fundamental stability of two, in the E and the A are kind of doing something. But to filter is to prefer. Sensorality is preferentiality. Preferentiality filters. So now we can see that, right, that prefix of preferentiality, right, and filters. So again, we're trying to again reduce it to this natural definition. Preferentiality filters. Ferality is wild, or like a feral cat, feral. A preference is specialization. Sensorality is specializationality. So that's what I have for you for derivation today. Again, the big step being filtration is preferentiation. To prefer something is to filter stuff. So that is what I have for you today. Again, my constitutional rights continue to be violated. It's a great way to start the new year. Is more racketeering, conspiracy, fraud to the highest level possible. Again, I don't care about the crimes committed against anybody else. I just want my money because this world is a total free-for-all and no one cares about literally anything. So that is all I have for you for free science that is going to be stolen immediately. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.